right, guys, welcome back to the ALGS channel. Hope you guys are all doing well and having a great day so far. Today is a big one because we've got some news to discuss about the dojo as we sat down here with Dojo's finest, Dezignful, and asked them some questions about what's going on over at the dojo camp, and then also some questions about champs. We've also got some roster mania drama with Madness. I don't know why I said trauma and drama. I guess although we have had a lot of changes, some have resulted in trauma watching some of our favorite teams disband as well. But this one is a little bit different. So if you guys want to stay up to date, all things Apex Legends, esports related, you know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into this. First thing I wanted to make mention of was coming from Jake Lucky, actually, and Sweet, as they were having a discussion regarding the controller input. So Jake had actually put out one of the earliest esports pros, Fatality, gave his take on the MK versus controller debate. You actually see some of that as well in today's video with Dezignful and his take on the whole scenario of MK and controller and aim assist and all of that stuff. So the development was talking about aim assist with Fatality, saying game developers cater to the masses and want everyone to feel like they're good at shooting people in these games, and so that's why it's easier. You know, you can have a guy come home from a 9 to 5 and just start beaming people on console because the aim assist helps them to do that, and that's what gives them that dopamine that makes them feel good. So says Fatality. Sweet responds and says controller players don't realize how boring it is to play on controller until they're exposed to a good mouse and keyboard game. We are seeing this pretty much everywhere at the moment, with top streamers and casuals venturing out. Nothing beats the feeling of success on MK, and as a hybrid player, someone who can play MK and controller, I can totally attest to this, man. There's nothing like doing good on MK. Controller is fun, and I will honestly say that MK players don't realize, if you've not really grinded recently on controller, how much brain cells you feel like you retain when you're on controller. You don't feel like you're sweating 24/7. Your head's not pounding 24/7. You don't have to focus too much, and it feels good to just get on a game and feel good. And I will say that's what makes gaming feel pretty good, because you can kind of get on with a little bit less effort and still play pretty good as well. Although I'm not agreeing that that's the way that it should be, I'm just saying from my personal experience, I love playing controller because I feel a lot more relaxed and having a good time. So Sweet says this is something that controller players need to realize as well, and of course this is where the conversations come in to Apex Legends. Also Madness, also with a roster change, this is where we get into the nitty-gritty details and information about roster mania. Madness did post earlier that with all the roster changes, Keon and I are looking for one for ALGS Pro League Year 4. This one was a little different because Keon and Madness had actually teamed for the LCQ. Did not go according to plan. We actually saw a lot of frustrations with this roster, as I think Madness was trying to make some call outs. Keon, obviously, they weren't in sync like we would like to see, and then that's when they decided to basically move on and find some other opportunities as well. Those opportunities did not seem to come to play, as it seems like they're going to be joining back together, saying we have an invite for Pro League already. We're looking for straight mechanics and passion for year 3 or year 4. Going into this, we're both on the game every single day and ready to prove ourselves. Vouches are appreciated. Now, it's not just Madness that we're looking at with the whole roster mania, esports drama, organizations. Some teams are not even making roster changes, they're just simply moving on to a new organization, and that's the question that we had to ask Dezignful over on the dojo. We had an exclusive interview with him just 2 days ago, and it took me a long time to edit it. You've waited for it. The cut down version of what we want to fit into the video is here for you today. If you'd like to watch the unedited kind of version, the extended version, like the 50-minute almost version, the link is down in the description to an unlisted video where you guys can listen to the entire discussion that was had. So in regards to the dojo and what they may be looking to do in this upcoming year 4, including the infamous question of where they're going to find themselves with an organization, here's the answers that we had. Roll the clip. Now that dojo is obviously exceeding expectations, an LCQ team, obviously you don't have to say anything too much, but one thing I was wondering is, when you come out of an amazing performance like that, a top 5 team at champs, not signed to or not playing by an organization, right? Not your typical G2, 100 thieves. It's just like straight up like yourself. So is dojo like, what's dojo's priority leaving champs? Like, is it like, hey, guys, now that we've done this, we need to look for an org? Are we just riding it out? What is your priorities? I guess not even just financially, but representation wise. What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, we're looking for the right home. I mean, honestly, we had orgs reaching out to us beforehand. Like, right. The LCQ was crazy, and I mean, me and Enemy just said it. We were like, you know what? Like, we're gonna go to this tournament and we're gonna slam. Like, we're gonna perform, and we're gonna get even better offers. And
exactly.
So it ended up happening, and I mean, we've been talking with like, if have you seen Sweet talk about it? There's so many orgs that actually are looking to get into the game. I know it's a very top heavy game, so like people like us, people like NRG and shit are obviously gonna get more offers.
Right.
You know, like people want that
Yeah.
winning team. So, but at like the top 10 spots, there's always going to be orgs, man. There's a lot of orgs that are looking to get into the game, and we are in talks with a decent few.
Sweet. Oh yeah, I mean that was really the main thing. I just looking at this, Dojo's just one of those rosters. It's just kind of like, you know, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I know at the end of the day, you know, this has got to be sustainable for everyone. So of course, like, you know, more than likely you're looking for an org, but like, I just didn't know, like, is Dojo's priority leaving this as, hey, we're, you know, now the goal is to find a home, or is it, you know, we're just going to stick it out until something, you know, until something falls in our lap a little bit better, I guess. But so I mean, confirmation, the Dojo boys are looking for a home. So obviously you guys coming off a big surprising for a lot of, like, I mean, I don't think anybody really underestimated your ability, but I think that people maybe, you know, I think Timmy had mentioned in like an Alpha Intel article that like you guys were hoping for at least top 10, something like, you know, that's what you guys were aiming for, that's what you guys were capable of. But then like top 4, you know, match point, barely, you know, not winning that. What's your like initial reaction? Like, would you guys say, you know, you exceeded your own expectations? How are you guys feeling overall as a squad with a, you know, a 4th place victory?
All right, so that was all them. Okay, that was all Timmy and Enemy all the time. Like, yeah, I think we can get top 10. I think we can qual.
I know you, bro. Yeah.
No, bro. Nobody remembers second place. I'm not there to get second place.
Yeah.
They're third place. You're second place. You're the first losers. I was there to win, man. It was there. It was there. Oh, I could taste it, man.
Yeah,
but
that's what sucks, bro. Hindsight is a killer, man.
Yep. But I mean, shit. I think in the very beginning, just because of the way Timmy is and the way I am, or at least we were perceived, a lot of people thought that it was just like, you know, it was definitely, it was like everyone, it was like 50-50. Everyone's like, what the hell's gonna happen?
Yeah,
they're gonna pop off, or they're gonna get slammed.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that was the thing. Is everybody's like, oh, content creator, you know, it's not the same, and you know, but you guys brought it. So yeah. One thing I wanted to ask is like, you know, that's, I mean, that's a team dynamic, right? Like that's what you got. That's kind of like your identity, right? You guys are a bunch of, you know, you're well-renowned players. Everybody knows you, but at the same time, you guys, like, you know, Timmy came from content creation, and I think he had played with another like challenger roster for a bit, and then he switched, and then you obviously coming from G2, and then E8, and then Enemy coming from, you know, a change as well. Like it's kind of like a bunch of outcasts come together, and then they all believe in each other. You know, so what do you think that is, what do you think that's what worked for this roster? Is that you all just kind of like, you know, screw it, we got no org, we're going this together, we just all believe in each other, we believe we could do it? What do you think was the success of this roster?
It was dude, it's literally like you said, like it's kind of like a ragtag group. It's like you ever seen the movie the Replacements with Keanu? That's what it was, man. If you ever watch us like scrimming and shit, we're singing, we're like messing around.
The vibes, man.
I came in there sort of singing Gloria, man. I was like, at first I was afraid, I was petrified. And I mean, dude, we came out, we did the CC, we did the LCQ, and I think people over time slowly were just like,
yeah,
holy shit.
Exactly.
Like more and more respect on the name, and then went to like winners and all that. It was sick. It's been like a very good snowball experience, and I think now, so me and Timmy definitely had the chips on our shoulders, but like we grind the game, and we're still gonna be grinding. But you know, like Enemy, he's like the innocent guy. You know, no one ever came at him. You know, but like now after that finals, the hate bandwagoners kind of like are chirping at him a little bit. So now he's got some fire under his ass going into it. Yeah, he's got some fire going into his ass going into this next pro league split and into next LAN.
Yeah, and everybody needs to be challenged. You know, you've had obviously, you know, everybody's had that, you know, that one thing that drives them. Timmy's has obviously been the doubt because of, you know, the background, and you know, it's, you know, content creation, and the pub stomping is different. And then you've had the rosters, the changes and stuff, and then Enemy, obviously, you know, he's had some changes, but you know, never anything big. Now that we've seen on the main stage, like you said, it's good that everybody has that motivation. Now that you've had your success, obviously, I mean, you know, not obviously didn't win, but where you placed is still something commendable. It's a nice accolade to have. Now that you've had this, I think looking at your past as a player individually, I remember following stories about you after the G2 drop. Obviously, you dropped the little montage thing today, and you could see like that was my old house where I was recording, and everything was so different. But we remember reporting on the G2 drop and the G2 failing to qualify, and then over to E8, and then E8 things didn't work out. You had a lot of like things following you around of I think a lot of people were thinking maybe it's Dezign, maybe Design's not the, you know, maybe he's holding a roster back, whatever. And I know you were ready to get under some other team with some success to prove that it's not you. And now that you've had some success, now that people know, okay, Dezign is not the problem here, what do you think looking back went wrong with the rosters you previously played with?
I think like I commented, I think it was your post, right? I would rather have 3 players that think about the game the exact same way than 3 players that are the very best in the game. Because back in the day, old G2, we all played so much together that we were literally all on the same wavelength. We didn't even comm as much. Like nowadays, we played all those solo leagues. All the solo leagues, at least personally for me, have upgraded my comms to an insane level, like micromanaging and at least like just like this team's gonna do this. Like instead of the stuff that I would usually think in my head, now I say it out loud. I'll say it out loud, like crouch along this wall. This team's gonna be LOSing this.
Small
like,
things, yeah,
and it just gets everyone on the same wavelength. But even then, like we didn't have that back then, but we had the fighting synergy where you all think about fights the same way, to where it works perfectly. And I have the best of both worlds with Dojo right now. It's super nice.
That's perfect. Yeah, and I think TDM I think has done like I see some teams that just literally play TDM scrims all day, like just team fighting each other, so that they can like the small things of like knowing when to swing a little bit, you know, when you're swinging too much, or you know, learning to calm every little detail so that you guys can, like you said, stay in that same wavelength. You're seeing teams prioritize you know, that a lot more, because at the end of the day, these guys are all pros for a reason. I mean, you know, everybody's got really good gun skill, everybody's got really good something, but it's about being on that same you know, the mojo, I guess. Okay, we've talked a lot about Dojo, Timmy, Designful, Enemy. Talk to me about Bronzey. What has Bronzey brought to the camp that you appreciate, that you feel like has imposed some success on these boys?
Dude, Bronzey is the GOAT.
He's underrated, dude.
I've loved Bronzey forever. I tried to bring him on G2, man, back in the day. I've been trying to get this little shithead to coach me for like 3 years now. Finally got him. I'm so hyped. Him even bringing him up, even if I knew anything about like what we were doing for like org wise, that fucker wouldn't tell me, bro. He knows just because of my brand, you know, like and how I am. He wouldn't tell me until he already signed the key terms for me, you know. He's a very smart guy, and he's very close with me and very close with Timmy, and me and Timmy are very stubborn people. So he is the perfect person to like mediate our conversations, and he is a giant reason that me and Timmy probably haven't like fought each other, you know?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, he helps us mediate it out and let us see each other's side of things, and his game knowledge is unreal. Like being a previous pro, he pops off in like every content creator tourney. He knows how to play the game.
He knows what he's doing. Yeah, I remember
when
they played.
I never wanted a coach that didn't play. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude. Bronzey and Timmy are like probably the most some of the most down to earth people in the Apex community. I remember playing like with Timmy whenever he had like season. I don't even remember what it was, when he had just started streaming. He had like 20 something viewers, and he had like that moan subscriber animation stuff, and dude was just as chill then as he is now. And then Bronzey the same way. You know, they're just great people, man. I love to see some success for people that, you know, are just like down to earth people. Just side note, it was like midnight at the time of recording this, and I look dead. You'll see my energy levels are weird because the questions are not in order. What are your thoughts on the drama of NRG leaving and EA doesn't take care of Apex, and what do you think they could do better? Or is it just a bunch of people, you know, with bad expectations?
I feel like I hope it lights a fire under EA's ass a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe, but like the only thing is like what could they do? Franchise the game? That's what all the other games that are, you know, healthy, that they're franchised. And right now, the reason orgs aren't in is that they're not in that front, like the franchise. They're not an org. Like what appeals to an org right now is the audience. So like teams with bigger audiences are gonna get better opportunities. That's why you see all these orgs jumping at NRG like sweet. They see it. They're like, okay, this guy's like, it's not just a competitive team, you know. This is the face of a brand.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, no, I understand. Yeah. So what do you
it's
think?
so important. So many young pros don't understand. They just need to stream, man. Even if it's 3 viewers a day. Like you just need to keep going and going and going. You just need to build that brand. You might as well, man. You're already getting paid to play the fucking game.
Exactly, bro. I literally was just talking to so
you're only helping the esport grow if you just keep like.
That's why, you know, I've said this too. Look, man, my channel content is so grungy. Like it is so reality TV. And of course, like in a perfect world, I'd rather, you know, be pumping out Jayhawk videos every day or something. But like, you know, in order for this to be sustainable, you know, this is the niche that I saw. It's kind of Keemstar. Let's be honest.
I mean,
it's Keemstar.
You know my niche. I was a little fucker, you know.
Yeah.
Like when people meet me in real life, they're always like, "Dude, what the hell? Like you're so nice." It's like, what's your online persona? You just gotta find the niche, you know. You gotta get in there.
Yeah, and I tell people, it's just like one of those things where you know you're gonna get blocked by people you respect, and it's just one of those things. You just gotta, you know, this is what I want to do. Though I have a passion for the scene, and I think exactly, and the content is helping the scene, whether they want to hate me or not. You know, it's helping everybody that we just get more content out there. So now that obviously, you know, you're over champs, we're getting ready to go into year 4. We're prepping. We've heard the news that maybe EA, well, not even maybe, we've heard that EA has asked for scrimmages to take place on Olympus to get feedback. What do you think about EA looking to make a map change with ALGS rotations and potentially adding Olympus?
I think it's great, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I mean it'll mix it up, you know. It'll really show like who can adapt, who the good teams are. We've been running the same maps for so fucking long.
Yeah.
Can I swear on this?
Oh yeah, you do what you want to, bro.
We've been running the same maps for so long. The rotates are literally just the same. You know what team's holding where, what team's gonna do what.
Yeah.
On World's Edge, everyone's so comfortable on that map, and then I think it'll be great because of how different the maps are, because how open Olympus is. I've already been cooking. I've already been in the kitchen cooking up.
Oh.
Like Horizon on Olympus is nowhere near as good as she is on World's Edge.
Too open.
Or Stormpoint. It's so open. It's going to be a completely different meta, and it's gonna just be like the teams that are going to perform during that are teams that are adaptable and like actually the best in the game. So I'm super hyped for it. I've played like 3 #1 grinds on Olympus. I know that map like the back of my hand. I know so many zones on that map. I know so many comps.
We got to talk about the last interview we had, Strafing Flame, and we were just discussing this at the beginning of all of this. Walk me through that final game where you guys are in a fight with TSM, and you've got Blackhand as well commenting, saying that if it's not TSM winning that fight, if it's Dojo winning that fight, that they win the game. So walk me through that last game. What exactly went wrong? Where do you guys see things going after that fight if you were to win it?
Yeah, those fuckers would have been handled for sure. Dude, we wouldn't. Maybe one of us would have went down, but no shot. We had them stuck there, backs against the wall of zone. They had to take that Horizon queue. Hal was the first one to take it. He would have insta-died. Then it would have been Jordan. I killed Jordan when he took it up by myself. So, I mean, that would have been both of them dead, but Evan is a freak, so he could have pulled it out. He could have knocked one of us. But at the same time, we have the same amount of time to res. But I think if you look at it from like a logistics angle, you know, like realistically, none of us should get knocked there. I mean, it is TSM. The fans are always gonna say, yeah, they could have still won that, but no. From a high angle like that, with how we were shooting that day, like we had the most kills on the day, I don't even think we get knocked there, and that causes me and enemy to instantly turn around with our repeaters. And Blackhand doesn't even get close to that spot where they fought TSM. They're getting instantly killed on the way up, or peppered on the way up to where they don't even make it to that cover, because we would have been at that cover before they did and had the height on them. I watched that back. Hal did get a crazy clip on them, but they wouldn't have even had that spot. Like they wouldn't have made it there.
But without a doubt, you believe that if Dojo doesn't drop there to TSM, you guys win champs.
Yeah, easily.
Absolutely. All right, man, here we go. Last question, big time, making it off the top of my head. Dojo ALGS year 4. What are we doing, Dezign? What are we doing? Are we going all out with a bang? Are we winning it all? What's the plan?
Dude, I have not been more confident in a team, like comms wise, game IQ, fight IQ, and it's such a fresh new team. Everyone says like honeymoon period and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're already past that, bro. We literally have scrimmed every day since before we even signed up for CC. It got to a point where it was like a headache. I was losing my mind. That's why we had a little bit of some days we would have back and forth, you know, like we would be making a lot of calls. I've been making a lot of calls because some days we would like slack off because we're just going every single day. But like, if we were gonna get sick of each other, it would have already been by now, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I think we're gonna be playing extremely well. I think both of the other players on my team. I know myself. I'm very adaptable, and I switch legends all the time. You saw it on old G2. I was always the one that swapped. I know Timmy can play a shit ton of legends, and I know Enemy can play a shit ton of legends. So
exactly, man. You guys might be literally the most. You might be the most adaptable team I'm seeing now. Like, you guys got a lot of potential of just being able to branch out in different places and do whatever you want.
It's going to be an exciting year if they do end up doing 3 different maps, and I think we have a really good chance. I think we were so close to touching that redemption story. Maybe it was, maybe it was a little setup, Maybe we can fucking close it. Maybe the story isn't over yet on that first chapter. Maybe I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is, but maybe the second chapter we grab.
What are you saying, bro?
Maybe the second chapter we do grab. Okay, so that was like what chapter 1, It's like a what is it called in anime, bro? Like a fucking cannon. That was the fucking cannon, bro.
Oh my, yeah.
Maybe we're about to hit another cannon.
Yeah,
maybe we're about to hit another cannon and win it.
Bro, imagine like you're gonna look back.
I want Dark Zero in the final this time. I want TSS. Whoa, oh shit. Who knows what's going on with fucking Dark Zero?
Yeah.
I want one where everyone's like, damn, like this final's fucking stacked.
We want Zero and Jen in the finals. That's what you mean.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Who knows what those boys are doing, man? That's another thing about NRG leaving. I think the vibes on that team were very
off.
They were very off, like watching them play around each other, like they weren't like in sync. I think of every team having a speedometer, and when I'm playing with Timmy and Emmy, I'm like, yo, dude, you're on like 90. We all need to be on 60. And I think they were just all over the place, and I think Sweet definitely wanted to change, and he was open to looking at other orgs. And I think if Sweet was gonna back out, Guild and Nate don't really stream that much, so it wasn't really worth it for Energy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Do you think? I mean, you saw the Nathan clip, right? You saw what he was talking about, like, basically saying that, everybody can be talked to differently. Some teams just operate different. It just is what it is. Like, I've always been under the impression, especially playing like high school sports, travel ball stuff. Like, bro, when you're in a game, look, if you got to spit in their face, bro, it is what it is. You just got to get the win. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I just watched a clip of like Tom Brady today on TikTok, and he's like, I like I made the other team the enemy, even if they were my former teammates.
Yeah.
He's like, I was like, what did they say? He said, what about me? Like he would like he would like put an image of them in his head to where he wanted to go out there and fucking run. You gotta
take it personal during the game.
Yeah.
Everything's gotta be personal during the game. So you just bring your all, bro.
But with Enemy and Timmy, they want that shit as bad as me, dog. So we're scrimming every single day. We're playing ranked. Like, we built chemistry so fast together because of how we all think of the game the same way. Like, it's super nice, man. It's super hyped, and like, yeah, we had no business being there, and like now we got a little bit of respect on our name, and we just got to keep snowballing, Can't fall off,
man.
Can't be,
Yes, sir.
Can't take a break on it. I know Timmy won't. It's obviously his job. And I know Enemy just got a taste of it now, and he's like, "Ooh, he's a young kid, and we just gotta keep him hungry." Now he's got the chip on his shoulder. Now I gotta corrupt him a little bit, teach him how to let his nuts hang.
Exactly, bro. You gotta stuff it in their mouth, bro. You just gotta literally just.
He's literally just like a younger me, man. I see him wide swinging and stuff, but like he's so he respects so many people. He's like when we wanted to contest alliance, he's like, I don't know, man. Effect's really good. Like those are my friends. and like shit like that. I'm like,
no,
enemy,
he did
stop.
not say those
Yes,
are my friends, bro. No.
Yeah, he's like, I love Effect, bro. Like they've been together for like 2 years. Like I don't know if we're gonna be able like to do this contest. I'm like, enemy, nobody's your fucking friend anymore. This is the fucking war zone. These are our fucking enemies. Like they are our enemies now. They're not your friends. I was like, you're better than everyone. You say it all the time. Fucking believe it, dude. Like, let's go.
Now, big thanks to Dezign for giving us that interview and showing out on the channel. Honestly, I wouldn't really think we were going to land anyone that big. I even saw Imperial Hal was watching this on a stream the other day. If we ever got some from TSM, bro, I'll give anybody the Guac 3000 to have that happen. Let's just be honest with you. But seriously, make sure to go show Dezign some love. Twitter, Twitch, right here on screen now, and then also down in the description below. Hoping the best for Dojo moving on. I think they're one of the fan favorite North American rosters for a reason. And I really enjoyed these interviews because they're really laid back. It's just kind of vibing and hanging out and talking all things ALGS and not being overly professional while trying to keep it somewhat organized as well. So really had a great time and really enjoyed doing these. Let me know who you guys would like to see on the channel next. Like the video, subscribe to the channel because this took me about 5-6 hours to get together. And until the next time, I'll see you all later, Gators.